All right, then thank you for joining. My name is Oskar Haller. I am the CEO and co-founder of Isarsoft. We are a video analytics company based in Munich, Germany, and today is all about our core product, Isarsoft Perception. Isarsoft Perception is a powerful, high-precision AI video analytics software which impresses with reliability, ease of use, and a wide range of integrations. What you can see already here in this image is an application of our use case of our software. You can see Isarsoft Perception processes images or video streams from security cameras to detect, count, and measure people flow. What you can see already here from this image is that software is able to capture very far, deeper than previous kinds of software. That is due to the AI built into the core of Isarsoft Perception. If you want to know, okay, what else can we do with such kind of software? I've brought with me 3 exemplary use cases. The first that I want to talk about is smart transportation. So with our video analytics software, Isarsoft Perception, customers can measure the people flow, for example, in train stations. Also, KPIs such as occupancy and dwell time can be collected with the software. And we can even measure these KPIs from within vehicles, such as trains or buses. The next highlight is traffic. So as you can see here, Isarsoft Perception is able to work on scenarios such as highways in the top left, roundabouts or intersections in the top right, or applications such as parking lots where occupancy and dwell times are relevant to measure for the operators. The third use case that I want to show here is the retail world. Retail traditionally used sensors that were then placed at the ceilings to capture data from the store visitors. With our software, it's possible to use security cameras that are often already installed in such scenarios to capture the data live and 24/7. You can see here areas such as fruit section where we can capture how many customers are in certain areas, how long are they dwelling in front of advertisements. We can optimize checkout processes, do queue management, and also we can use the parking lot capabilities of Isarsoft Perception to measure how full is the parking lot, how long are cars parked in front of the parking lot, and maybe is there some illegal parking activity going on that hinders other customers from visiting the store. So now with these 3 use cases in mind, how to get started with the software, how to get started with Isarsoft Perception. Therefore, I want to give you a live demo of the software. Before I share my screen, you should be able to see it now. As you can see, our software runs, or the front end or the user interface is browser-based. So when you have Isarsoft Perception installed, you can access it through the browser. To get started, we have to pass the user management. Therefore, We enter our credentials, and then we can see the dashboard. Here's a variety of applications that are already running and collecting data, but we want to get started. So we jump to the camera interface. Here we can see cameras that are already connected to Isarsoft Perception, but we want to start fresh over and create a new camera. For the reason of the time, we added just one that has already been added to the system, but the steps are virtually the same. So you can see here the camera settings. So every camera has a camera name to be able to find it again in the overview. It has some tags. So in this case, we tagged it with retail. So we are able to find all the cameras that are retail cameras, and we add the RTSP stream URL. That is the stream URL of the camera. Each IP camera, if it's an Axis camera, if it's a Vivotech camera, if it's a Bosch camera, has a unique RTSP stream URL, and that is easy to find out. And once you have it, you enter it here, and then the software builds the connection to the camera and gets the live video feed. In the next step, you can locate the camera to be able to find it more easily. In this case, this camera is placed in Oxford, so we placed its location here. Then the third step is georeferencing. So that is important for later processing, so we can locate people on a map. For that, we need to set up georeferencing. Therefore, we simply add 4 points in the camera image and connect it to 4 points on the map. So in this case, the green point over here matches the green point over there on the map. Last step is a privacy mask that we could use to hide sensitive information, but we don't need it here. If we go back and have a look on the created camera, that is over here, we can see that this current camera is currently being online. It has a full HD resolution, and its last signal was received just a couple of seconds ago. We can also see here again the name and the stream URL and the tags. So now we have the camera in the system. We have established a connection between camera and software. And now, therefore, we jump to the applications to do something with that camera. In particular, we want to measure the flow in that particular area. Therefore, we create an application. We select object flow. Object flow is the application that is able to count people when they pass a line and measure people when they are how many people are within a certain area. Object count would be just area-based counting every couple of seconds, and crowd count would be for large crowds, for example, in stadiums. But suitable here is the object flow application, so we select that. Then we get a variety of models that we can choose from. In this case, we are interested in footfall traffic, so we select person here. We have to choose the input camera, therefore we select the previously discussed shopping street camera. And we have to give the application a name, so we name it footfall measurement. And now we can add lines, for example, here, to measure the number of people that cross that street. And we add a zone in front of that window over here. So we now know how how many people are in proximity to that store. Click Create Application, and then it takes a second or two till the application is created. Still taking a second. So there we go. Now it's online, and we see already here how people are being counted when they pass the line. So maybe we get a good spot where someone passes the line. Maybe here. So now there's been one person crossing the line, and it goes up. This here is the application view. So here you can also see the live counts, the live data, and then as time progresses, you would see data from today, this week, this month, or the last 3 months even. Here in this map, you also see a overview of what is going on here. So this map resembles the people that are being detected here in this image. And then we have a couple of maps. So we have a position map, we have a path map, we have a map that entails the dwell time, and also a velocity map. The velocity map highlights red where people are moving faster, whereas the dwell time map is more red where people are dwelling longer. Last but not least, we have the trajectory map. So each green point denotes the start of a trajectory. Each red point denotes the end of a trajectory. And as you can see here, a lot of people are walking on that side, whereas the density of people in the middle is a little bit less. And then also a lot of people walk here on the right side of the street. All right. That is it for people counting. As I've mentioned previously, Isarsoft Perception also has the capability to measure traffic flow. So I want to jump over to a traffic flow application. Therefore, let's choose this one. This is a city that has some traffic in the city. And you can see here, again, the map where the objects are moving. So those two cars here on the left resemble those two cars over here. This car here is on the map over here. So as you can see, this is like this square. With the traffic flow application, we have different objects that we can choose from. So we can measure how many people are in a certain area or how many people walk across a certain line, but we can do the same for cars. So if we select car over here, we see, okay, how many cars have been going in and out. And we can also click on that zone over here and then see, okay, currently there's 2 cars parked over here. And if we select this zone, there's 1 car parked over there. And then again, can also, so this application has been running for a while now, so we can see all the historic data from this week, this month, and the last 3 months. 3 months or some custom time period that we want to select. Right. We can also export that data to Excel spreadsheet if we want, but now that's not relevant. So this is pretty much the 2 core functionalities of Isarsoft Perception, people flow measurement and traffic flow measurement. There's more to it. There's also alarms that you can add, for example, to maybe you can do that here, measure or create an alarm when the number of objects is larger than a certain threshold. For that, we create a new alarm. We select an object. So in this case, we say, okay, the number of objects in a certain zone, in this case, the number of cars when it's larger than a certain value, then the software would be triggering an alarm. That is that. Over here on the left, what else do we have? The settings page. The settings page is general configuration of the software, maybe more technical, less interesting, but for completeness, I cover it today. So you can see here, we can integrate video management systems. So if you have, for example, in your retail store, a video management system such as Milestone X-Protect, you can import it here and then be able to process the camera streams from that video management system. The cloud connector gives the possibility to broadcast the data that we produce to a cloud system, for example, Tableau or Power BI, to be able to compare different sites or different metrics, and also integrate the different kind of data. We have the user management that we've covered at the beginning, so everyone has to log in to see the data. We have a system health tab where we see, okay, how heavy is the load on the system. You can see here it's already quite high, but disk usage and RAM usage seem fine. And then we have the support page where you can find our contact details. Right. That's it for the live demo. This webinar today is called Getting Started with Isarsoft Perception. What do you need to get started? Well, our software runs on hardware, so it's standard hardware. However, it won't be able to run on your laptop. You have to get a device such as like this here that can process up to 5 cameras. If you have a larger fleet of cameras, we have servers that are suitable to use with our software that can process even up to 100 cameras or even more. So depending on your needs, you would get a certain piece of hardware, that it be, for example, such an edge device or a server. If you have a video management system already, you would be able to connect our software to your video management system, and then your cameras that you might already have are ready to become smart sensors with the click of a button. Well, right, that's it for getting started with Isarsoft Perception. I am happy to answer your questions. You can write them in the chat. Alternatively, you can also reach out to us through our website, isarsoft.com, and then we are happy to answer your questions. This webinar is being recorded, so if you have missed the beginning, you can watch it later. You should get an email with the recording, and then we have more webinars coming on certain use cases. So make sure to follow our webinars page on isarsoft.com, where you can see more detailed information on our software. All right. Okay, so we've received a question where I should show again how to create an application, which I am very happy to do. Forgive me a second. So picking up where we previously left. So you can see here, so to create an application, you have to have cameras in your system. This is the first step. When we have those cameras connected to the software, we can go over here to applications. To create an application, we click create application. Then there's 3 different types of applications: object count, object flow, and crowd count. Previously, we have done object flow. Object flow captures object trajectories and provides advanced analytics such as line count and dwell time measurements. Object count is a reduced version of that. Object count only counts the number of objects every couple of seconds, so it's not able to capture object flow. And then crowd count is for large crowds of people. We can again select object flow over here, and then we have a variety of models to choose from. Previously, we selected the person model because we wanted to measure footfall in that city area. But we can also select the traffic model, where we are capturing pedestrians, cyclists, motorcyclists, cars, vans, buses, trucks, and heavy trucks. Or we could select the public transport model, where we select where we count people, cyclists, people in wheelchair, luggage, and incoming trains. So yeah, let's do traffic counting. We are now here in the 3rd step. So we have to select a camera that we want to apply the traffic model to. So it makes sense if we select the traffic camera. Maybe let's take this one over here. So again, the application needs a name. Let's call it intersection. And then we can, for example, add a line over here to measure the traffic that is flowing in over here. And we could add a zone, maybe like this. We can add points to the zone with a right click. So if we want to measure the number of cars that are here in this intersection, that's the way we do it. We can repeat this step infinite times. Let's just stick with 2. And I click create application. And now the application is being created. And there it is. So you can now see, okay, the cars being captured here when they move through the zone. You can see again the heat maps already coming up. So yeah, this is how you create an application. All right. I don't see any more questions. So we'll finish 5 minutes early. Thank you for tuning in today. If you have any questions that haven't been answered today, also feel free to write us, and we'll be happy to do an in-person demo after the event. Thank you again, and have a nice day.